welcome to this week's edition of Insider Tips. Today we're going to focus on tracking your inbound leads and how to best use that information moving forward. Believe it or not, we're already in the fourth quarter, and that means we've got a lot of work to do to plan for the end of the fourth quarter and prepare a good marketing plan for the beginning of the new year. One of the things that I encourage firms to do all year long is to really closely track and monitor their inbound leads. And what I mean by monitoring that is to make sure that you understand where they're coming from, how they found you, and that you have an organized tool that enables you to very quickly assess how is everything working. One of the easiest tools you can use is actually an Excel spreadsheet, and you don't have to be a guru. Excel is extremely simple, and I'd be very happy to help you set this up and to show you a few tips moving forward. As you begin to set up your lead tracking spreadsheet, in the first column, name that date, and that's the date of the initial contact. Then have a column for the first name, a column for the second name, and I usually add two columns for phone numbers. One is a primary, one is an alternate. That'll help you with a lot of follow-up and prevent you from double counting a lead if it comes in. The next thing I would do would be to sort it by lead source. If you have a way of tracking which vendor actually produced that, that insight gives you a little bit more leverage as you prepare to go into your fourth quarter negotiation with those vendors. It's always important to track by city or location because if you're spanning a couple of counties or if you have an opportunity to grow into some other areas, it'd always be nice to see how well are you penetrated? Are you generating cases there? And if so, what could you do more of? If not, how could you change your current marketing approach to make sure that you're actually mining new cases out of that specific target market? So there's a lot of insights you can get from that. And one of the last columns I have on there is a declined letter sent, yes or no. I think it's a good idea for law firms, just from a liability standpoint. If someone contacts you and it's a case that you've got to turn down, it may take you a couple of conversations to determine that. Some of them you're going to know right away. But if you've got the address, you've got the name, and you decide not to take that case, sending a simple closeout letter, if you will, gives you a little bit of extra protection, and I think it's a good idea to do and log actively into this spreadsheet. And I'll show you how to use that in a minute. Once you get your spreadsheet set up, you can do this on a daily or a weekly basis, whether it's you or maybe some of your staff that just are going to be responsible for just uploading the spreadsheet and keeping it updated. It really just takes a couple of minutes each day, but it's something I think that'll make you much more efficient down the road as you begin to really evaluate this. I like to suggest that you use three colors. The column, again, going left to right, the row going left to right. If you've turned down the case, highlight the entire row in the color of red. In other words, stop. There's nothing else you have to do. If it's one that you're currently evaluating, highlight that row in yellow. That's you don't know yet. And if it's a case you're taking or you have decided to take, go ahead and make that color green. The reason I do these simple three colors is it allows you to very quickly look at this overall spreadsheet and zero in on areas that you may need to take additional action or some follow-up or to make sure you've actually closed that out. If it's a case that you're not going to take, you're going to close it down and close it out. Having it marked by red just means, hey, look, I don't have to spend any more time there. But it's a great tool that you can use, again, to be as efficient as possible. And if that row is still in yellow, hey, that keeps you from missing something or having to follow up later. You know, hey, look, I could take activity on that row right now, on that contact, right now to make sure that I'm actively moving that case forward to a final decision. Ultimately, at the end of the week, the month, the year, you'd like to see every one of those individual rows either red or green. Either we turned them down or we decided to pursue them. Once you've got that spreadsheet set up and you've got some data entered over a few weeks, you'll begin to see patterns. You'll begin to see geography. You'll begin to see types of cases. I like to keep a row in there that is just a general bucket. Was this a workers' comp case? Was this did that result from a factory injury? Was that something that was done due to a delivery? Was this an automobile accident? Was this a divorce? What kind of case was it? Because if you've got a practice that has multiple phases or multiple subtopics, other practice areas, it allows you again to see how well each of your practice areas are producing. And if you notice a pattern where some of the more important practice areas you're not getting enough cases, well, that immediately highlights the fact that, hey, we need to change something, alter something, or do something different this year to generate more of those desired types of cases. Again, it's not rocket science But having the information at your fingertips gives you a lot of power. It gives you a lot of insights and information that you can then monitor in terms of your conversations with your vendors. You can monitor in terms of the productivity, what you're spending, how much you're spending, and what you're actually getting back for it. That return on investment is the ultimate number that we're always monitoring. So let me encourage you again, as we get into the fourth quarter, go ahead and start your spreadsheet, because you might want to go back now all the way to January and begin setting up that spreadsheet so that you'll have a full end of year spreadsheet here on December 31st. Why start now? Because as you move forward through November and December, things are still going to get busy. You're going to have new cases coming in. We're going to have holidays and vacations, a lot of things, a lot of distractions, not to mention just the caseload you're already handling. So if you get a start on this now, you'll be much more prepared as we move forward into the end of the fourth quarter and as you begin to engage your vendors and set up your marketing plan for the upcoming year. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you found the information insightful. If you have questions about this, please give me a call. My phone number is 502-208-9639. I'll be very happy to speak with you, or if we need to set up a meeting, we can do so. But now is a really good time to begin analyzing how the year has gone thus far so that you know what you've got to do differently in the upcoming year, and this is the time to start. Thanks again for your time this week. I appreciate it, and I look forward to speaking to you right here again next week on Insider Tips. Take care and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.